Welcome to the Abyss. My name is Drew Gillen. I'm the CEO and co-founder. In this video, we're going to talk about how to have your cryptocurrency listed on an exchange like Coinbase or Binance. I want to start this video off by saying anyone can create a cryptocurrency. Even I did it. So if you're one of those people who just made a new token or has been working on one for a while and you've been asking yourself, how do you go about getting your project listed on an exchange, then this video is perfect for you. We're going to answer all of your questions and provide you with enough information to succeed in listing your token on multiple exchanges. So let's get right into it. The first thing that we should talk about is the importance of listing your token on an exchange. Let's go over the main reasons right now. Take Litecoin, for example. When Litecoin was listed on Coinbase in 2016, its price jumped over 25% and then rallied to all-time highs the next month. This same phenomenon has happened many times with other tokens. When getting listed on a major exchange, especially those with fiat gateways in North America, Europe, and Asia, your token expands into new markets and communities, increasing the social proof, allowing for more buyers and sellers to pour into your project, which creates a compound effect where your token rises in value. So to iterate again, the main reasons for listing a token are the ability to buy and sell your token. The token will rise in value, expansion into new markets and communities, and increase in social proof. Now that we know why it's so important to list your token on an exchange, how do we pick the right one? We actually answered this question within a detailed report issued by our team where we break down the top 50 best exchanges to list a token on. In this report, we broke down all of these factors we're about to talk about right now and more with direct links to the exchange listing centers, listing blogs, exchange contact information, emails, and more. If you're serious about listing your token, I highly suggest you take a look at this report because it will save you so much time and make your life way easier when it comes to listing. I'll put a link in the description below and I highly recommend you take a look at the report. Now, one thing to note regarding exchanges is that it's within the exchange's best interest to list good tokens and projects. The same compound effect that we talked about earlier also applies to exchanges. If they list good projects, then they'll expand into new markets and communities, increasing the exchange's social proof, which increases the overall value of the exchange. That's why it's within their best interest to list good projects and tokens. So let's break down some of the factors we should consider when picking an exchange. The 24-hour volume, the monthly visitors, total markets in coins, the exchange type, the exchange location, and data aggregators like Abyss. So the 24-hour volume is important because it gives us a good indication of how active the exchange is. When listing a token, you want your token to be listed on a highly active exchange where there's a lot of users. And that also applies with the monthly visitors. If there's a lot, millions of monthly visitors, and there's billions of trading volume, then that is a really good exchange to list on. Whereas the monthly visitors metric also allows us to gauge the growth or decline of the exchange. If the monthly visitors is low but the 24-hour volume is very high, then that might be signaling that the exchange is committing some wash trading and has fake volume. The next category is the total markets and coins. With this, it shows the total markets is the total amount of cryptocurrency pairs listed on the exchange, while the coins is the individual's tokens listed. And this helps gauge how active the exchange is as well. If it's a lower ending exchange, but they have hundreds of useless and dead coins listed on the exchange, then that speaks for itself, right? They should obviously delist these coins if no one is trading them, there's no volume or liquidity. So that's something to keep an eye out for. The next thing is the exchange type. What type of exchange do you want to list on? Do you want to list on a centralized or decentralized exchange, spot markets or derivative markets? All of these factors we break down in the spreadsheet for you. And the other thing too is the exchange location. Which region of the world do you want to list in? North America, Europe, Asia, Africa. What country are these exchanges located in? These help gauge Two, if your project or your token has already a big user base in Africa, then you might consider listing your token on African exchanges. And the final thing here is data aggregators like Abyss. Does Abyss or CoinMarketCap support and aggregate data from these exchanges? If they do, then that's a good sign because you can validate some of their data either through Abyss or CoinMarketCap, for example. So these are some of the factors to consider when picking an exchange. And like I said earlier, we broke down all of these factors and more in our spreadsheet linked below. So, how do we list the token? Now that we have picked an exchange and know why it's important to list your token on an exchange, how do we actually go about doing it? Well, there's a couple factors to consider. The listing fees, how much does it cost to list your token, and how does the listing actually work, and what information is required? Before we get into that, you should know that all the exchanges recommend that the project manager or CEO personally list the token themselves. Some exchanges even go on to say that they do not accept inquiries or applications related to listing through third party agents. So, what does that mean for you? It means that you or someone on your team should probably personally list the token themselves. Listing agencies do exist, but it is very difficult to separate the real agencies from scammers. On that note, let's talk a little bit about listing fees. So, almost every exchange, including Binance, charges a listing fee. The listing fees vary depending on the size of the exchange, and almost all of the exchanges do not publicly disclose their listing fees. So, to find out exchange listing fees, you'll have to go and try to list your token on that exchange, and then they'll reach out to you and tell you the amount or cost of that listing fee. I reached out to over 50 exchanges asking what their listing fees are, and only one of them actually told me how much it costs to list on that exchange. That says a lot. The best exchanges do not charge listing fees, but these are also the most competitive. So, for example, some of these exchanges include Coinbase, Bybit, Crypto.com, Gate.io, and BitThumb. So that's kind of the category of listing fees. How do the listings actually work, right? So exchanges mainly look for a few things, few big things when it comes to listing on that exchange. They look for clean code, coin traction, a strong team, tested technology, legal compliance, and a social media following. So you submit this information, and some of the information required is right here. We'll get into that in 1 second. After you submit this information, the exchange, in every case, the exchange has a team in place where they manually review your application and code. Some of this process is automated, but the majority of it is manual. So this means that it will take time, sometimes even months. Mainly though, I've seen listing times from about 1 to 2 weeks is how long it takes till they get back to you. So after you and submit your application to list on the exchange then carries out code audits and due diligence reports where they find the legit or gauge the legitimacy of the project. This is basically where the good projects get separated from the bad ones. And if all goes well, then they accept your application, you pay the listing fee, and then your token gets listed on the exchange, resulting in a win for both you and the exchange. So finally, the information required. What pieces of information do the exchanges need when submitting an application to list on that exchange? Some of this information is right here. It includes the project name, ticker symbol, and introduction, fundraising status, the current roadmap and product development, links to the website, white paper, communities and social media following, links to the Blockchain Explorer website you use, a letter of commitment, contact information, the token generation method, and more. This is just some of the required information. So, avoiding scammers. About 90% of the so-called crypto listing experts are scammers. Only maybe say 10% of them are actually real experts. So it's very difficult to sort through the real and the fake accounts. So if you decide to go the route of trying to have an agency list your coin, be extremely careful with that. Before sending anyone money or tokens, verify that they either work at the exchange or that they're a legitimate partner, and always, always, always double check everything before sending anyone money. This has happened to so many different people, and you need to be extremely careful when attempting to list your coin through a third party. If it's not directly through the exchange themselves, through verified networks, then it likely is a scam. So we, in the spreadsheet and the detailed report that we went through, we actually identified all of the exchange emails with the exact contact information as well as direct links to the exchange where you can list your token. So it's 100% real and verified. Finally, the plan, right? So now that you know why it's important to list your token, you know you picked out some exchanges, you understand the basic process. What is the plan? How do you go about doing this? Well, the plan is, or the token listing process is relatively simple, right? First, all you have to do is prepare all your listing information required in one place, pick an exchange from the spreadsheet, and read any and all listing blogs and other listing information that the exchange provides you, and then apply to have your token listed in either the listing center or the form, or email the exchange themselves, and then wait. So after you apply, it normally takes weeks to months before you'll actually hear back from them. Binance says about 98% of the time you won't hear back from them after you've applied for with your application. So it takes some time. But if anything does change when it comes to the project, make sure to update your listing application and let the exchanges know if something changes. And then basically you just repeat these steps for other exchanges. And the more exchanges that your token is listed on, the more valuable it is, and the more people can pour into the project and buy and sell it. So that's the basic process as to how to list your cryptocurrency token on an exchange like Coinbase or Binance. If you need any more information or help or consulting, email us at support@abyss.com or check out our website at abyss.com too. There we provide you with all the cryptocurrency data and tools you need. So if you do decide to list your cryptocurrency token on any of these exchanges, then we will be able to provide you with extremely valuable information about how your token is being traded. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, like and subscribe, give it a thumbs up, check out our other videos, and if you guys need any help with anything in regards to cryptocurrency or how to list your token, send us an email at support@abyss.com and check out our website. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your support.